Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plat. Purplatypus is the name, and today we are talking about a build that counters everything in the game. And that doesn't mean that it's actually going to be better than everything in the game. It just means that it's a build built based around countering things. You get the jokes. Haha, we're funny here. Very first, though, I want to thank my members. Boom. My members and supporters. Thank you very much. If you want to support the Plat beyond just watching the video, then go ahead and give that membership look. You get some benefits, knickknacks, patty whacks. You get some emotes. You get some shout outs and the like. Now, really quick before we jump into the video as well, I want to apologize if my sound is good or bad. Not if it's good, but I found a pop filter, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But I already had one. I just hadn't found it when I moved. But I cleaned my room, and I swear to God, it's way more echoey in here now. So hopefully the sound quality isn't too bad. But let me know what you think about the audio, if it sounds the same, better, worse. I might need to add some shit to the walls because I took a lot of stuff out of here. It was messy, but now it's clean. As clean as it can be for a mostly empty gamer's room. All right, now let's jump into the build. So what are we doing here? This is going to be built around Unifi, the Snow Ranger, because she has the triple counter, right? Activates after an enemy attacks with an active skill, counterattack 3 enemies. Now, the good thing about Unifi is she can be used in all kinds of builds because she's so insanely powerful. But, like, because you can go with a Glacial Rain build, you can go with just a normal deal damage, follow-up strike, Snow White strike kind of build, or you could do what I'm trying to do here is the triple counter build. And the reason why this is very different from the other ones is because she has to be attacked and then counterattack. You can have this happen sometimes, like if someone attacks her with ranged, then she'll counterattack. But if you want to use this as your main damaging ability, which you might want to, then it's absolutely worth basically making her a frontline unit here. But you can't have it so enemies will, like, you can't have a lane jump in and take the hit for her. If they attack her, but a lane jumps in and takes the hit, she won't counterattack. So you actually need her on the front line and to take the hits. Now, there are 2 main ways to do this. One, you can go all in on evasion, right? You could do something like the Frostbloom bow. You could do a bunch of things that just give you a bunch of evasion. That is something that is very viable to do. However, the direction that I decided to go, because I thought it felt more powerful because you get to do more damage, and it felt more consistent because you weren't relying on evasion, is the blind route, where you basically have 2 feather bows with 4 PP, and then every time the enemy attacks, they're going to blind a whole row. So she doesn't actually need to evade anything because they're just going to miss. And the good thing about this is that blind will also destroy True Strike. If an enemy has True Strike and they're attacking, blind will still cause them to miss. So we are going with a 2 feather bow build here. The only thing that matters here is shining light on not blinded. You want them to target units that are not already blinded. Otherwise, you're going to waste it. And then I'm going to have 4 PP on her, 4 PP on her. So we have a total of 4 uses of this ability. Besides that, they get to use their normal damage, stuff like that. It is pretty good. You know, they've got some decent attacks, nothing insane, but they've got some decent stuff depending on the situation. I'm just using Photon Arrow because it attacks a couple things. Photon Arrow because it attacks a couple things. Finally, for my 4th and final character, this would be a 4-person build. You could add more if you want something up here, but with counterattacks, it becomes, you really want her to be the center of attention and getting attacked if you're going for this build. So this is more of a 4-person build, but you could change it up for sure. It doesn't need to be this all in. When I do an all-in build like this, what I'm trying to emphasize, because I'll get people like making comments like, this just seems like a bad version of this other build. In a sense, yes, all right, there are other builds that are stronger, but what I'm trying to do is give an extreme version of a type of build. And then 1, it's fun because it's fun to do different things. 2, you could also incorporate partial of this build. You don't need to go all in, right? You don't need all the blind and all the triple counter. You could just have her, triple counter a couple times in a fight and then have another front row and then not need double feather bow, because maybe you do have someone that can guard for it, right? You can make adjustments here. This isn't the final build. This is just a fun take on going all in on a single idea. So the final character here we're using is the Were Owl. The Were Owl is showing up in a lot of my builds recently because we're doing a lot of passive-based builds. But basically, what they are going to do is they're going to grant PP to the front row when they need it. So this is going all in on triple counter. I do think that you could easily replace the wear owl with something, maybe have more damage, maybe have follow-up stuff. I would like to have a character that could use the precious rod and can limited heal, just bring everyone up. That's basically the build, right? You're gonna have this character really go all in on counters. You know, in fact, let's increase our bow. Sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Let's get a bow that's better here. You don't really need that. I just want something that gives you all your stats up. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead and equip this bow because you don't need the evasion in this build. And then this character is all about just giving a bunch of PP to the front row. Then you could also limited heal, and you could do an Aurora Veil, which isn't even super important. Maybe you want to do something like this instead. It's all whatever. And then really, they're just going to be blinding them. So this isn't min-max to the point of like every accessory. Like I don't need the silken scarf here, right? I don't need the gold bangle here because the idea is the enemy's always going to be blinded no matter who they're attacking. So this is what we're going to do. And Unify is just so powerful because even if you're just using like triple, okay, why are we doing this build with Unify and not other characters? One, triple counter attacks 3 enemies. This is incredibly powerful. That's 300 potency for 1 passive point. That is a huge amount of damage. Actually, nuts amount of damage. It's spread out, but that's still really good. Even if it's only hitting 1 target, that's still a normal hit. But then when she's not using her passive, she still has access to Mystic Arrow. Mystic Arrow should not say prioritize armored. It should say armored. There you go. Because otherwise you want to use Sonic Shaft. And Sonic Shaft is insane. Mystic Arrow is very good. Triple counter is insane. Snow White Strike is good. You basically can't go wrong when you're using Unify. Probably the best, probably in the S tier. She's probably not the best character in the game, but she's almost the best character in the game for sure. So we're going to go up against this build here. So the main reason I chose these characters, one, they're just kind of a bunch of like kind of tanky, kind of high level characters. I don't have the row heal on here because I want everyone to attack. So she actually has to get her attack on. But I really wanted to include a sniper specifically with Eagle Eye and row shot targeting the back row. It says flying, but that's where all the flyers are. Just to show you that even though we're going to get less triple counters in this example, the blind will override the true strike, and they're actually going to miss all their attacks here. So let's kind of get a look at exactly what the build does. We might do this 2 times, just to kind of, in case I don't break it down quite enough. So we rapid orders. The thing is, one good thing about this build is it doesn't matter, and this does not matter for initiative at all, right? So he does a row shot, shining light, boom, misses them all. I guess you could also dispel them. Why not? So spinning edge, you're going to go ahead and do this. Now, if they're immune to blind, this build is not going to work as such. But look at that. He misses, but then you get a triple counter. Boom. Look at that. Already killed something. Then you get your PP back. You get a Sonic Shaft something. There you go. That's just your normal damage. Limited heal. Let's go. Stain's Blade. You're still blinded. Let's go. Triple counter. Boom. Restore. Photon Arrow, it doesn't even matter. Let him miss. The Sonic Shaft always hits. We still had 4 PP left. I wonder if we just do a different build. Like, let's just... This one might not work at all. I have no idea what this enemy team does, but let's just kind of look at another example. The whole idea... Oh, this is the True Strike build, but I think if they're blinded, it still won't miss. So Sonic Shaft, limited heal, fatal dive, but you're blinded. Oops. Triple counter. Almost 400 damage on the back line there. That's insane, bro. All right, you can tell like my teams aren't all built for strength. I've kept taking them apart for these videos because I'm doing a bunch of these, like, because doing a bunch of builds. So kind of a short and sweet video, but this is the counter build. I think this build is actually quite powerful. I wonder if I could take it to a let's just add it for funsies to make the video closer to 10 minutes. It's actually almost 10 minutes already, but let's just go to the Coliseum here. There's no more fights in this outside of the Coliseum. I mean, I guess the final fight, but this build does not work on that fight. That fight needs very specific things. Let's just go to a fight in the Coliseum here. Offline battle. We don't want there to be a... Maybe we could do this. Maybe. Let's just take... I have honestly no idea. We might get completely slapped here. I don't want to pick a fight where we don't just instantly lose, but Mystic Arrow, nice. Lightning Blade, Shining Light. You are blinded. Nice butt. Ha ha ha. Triple counter. Oh, do you guarantee dodge that? You do guarantee dodge that. There we go. Hit something in the back row. Remove weakness. Uh-oh. Doesn't matter. You're blinded. Miss. Scrub. Watch this. Stop doing that. Okay, I forgot that they could just dodge shit like that. But I don't even think it matters. Thunderous Strike, you're already blinded, bro. That's so powerful. It's so stupid. You don't even need to use that, but it's okay. Blind. Triple counter. Oops. Restore. Mystic Arrow. Dead. Guaranteed hit. Lightning Blade. Blinded. She's really... I don't know if I've watched the female fencer fight before. Oh my god. Come on, bro. I think this is pretty fucking powerful, man. That ability is insane. That was no prep. That was no prep, and that was a build with 2 characters that dodge ranged attacks guaranteed, and another guy that blocks really, really heavy attacks. So I think that's a pretty good proof of concept for this build. Just to highlight, we'll go over the character's equipment again. The only one important here is Unifeed. This is the big boy King's Barrow, Bastarok, Kabata Barrow thing. Just a bunch of attack. Ring of the Maiden, I have on her. Of course, you don't need this many stats on her, right? I have all stats +5, all stats +5, all stats +5. You don't need all those things, right? You could do different combinations. You don't really care about AP on this character that much because it's mostly about the counterattack. However, Mystic Arrow, Sonic Shaft are still very good, so more AP doesn't hurt. Besides that, all stats +5 is probably less good than getting just a bunch of normal attack, but these items are just so easy to throw on and they're very powerful if you have them in the game. But don't be afraid to put on something like a, you know, just like a Warrior's Bangle, something like that, and put on something that gives you 2 PP instead of doing these other things, right? Like this would even give me more attack. So this would probably make the build almost objectively stronger, right? With a higher crit rate, something like that. Then I am using the Retaliation Earrings, +40 damage. I know it says +40 damage. I don't know if that's going to be divided over all 3 targets or if each target's going to take 40 additional damage. If it's equal to basically dealing 40 more physical attack, or I'm not exactly sure how this is added into the damage, but obviously it seems like it was doing a lot of damage here, so I really liked it. And again, these characters, like, just, you could take this off, right? You could take, you don't want to take this off right now, but their whole thing is that 4 PP and then use Shining Light, Shining Light, Shining Light. You're here basically just to keep everyone topped off, even though you don't need to do that necessarily. But it's also you could even restore the angels, right? If this angel, right, she always goes first because she has higher initiative or the turn order. So if she does Shining Light once and then Shining Light twice, you could get 2 restore over here to this character as well. And that means you'd actually get a 3rd use. You'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uses of Shining Light. So there we go. That's the build. Let me know how you guys like it. I had a lot of fun with this one. I felt like it was actually pretty strong, stronger than I was expecting when I was trying to meme. I was trying to go all in on the dodge chance first and have her just really, really dodge everything. It turned out that I felt like that was just weaker than blinding all the enemies. But if they're immune to blind, good luck. This probably ain't gonna work for you that well. Anyway, much love for Platypus is for Platypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye!